Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Chris B, otherwise known as Bystander X79, and today's video is a deck profile on Paleozoic Monarchs. Alright, I can tell you this right now. I was going through my Frog Monarch deck the other day, was trying to figure out how to make it better, more meta relevant, and I realized, hey, frogs go well with Paleozoic, so why not try it out in the deck? Tried out the Paleozoic cards in the deck with the Frog Engine and some Monarchs. The deck was good, I'm not going to lie. It built some pretty decent boards. But the thing is that good wasn't enough for me. Started playing around with more of the Monarch tech stuff. Got rid of the Frog Engine, and holy cow, did this deck just start making explosive and consistent plays. Wow! I mean, I was shocked. And if you don't believe me, let's just turn around and get into the deck profile, and you will. Oh boy. Monarchs are one of my favorite archetypes to actually run, if you know me very well. So, first off, like we always do, gonna do the monsters, and of course, I run 3 copies of Edea the Heavenly Squire. Alright, now Edea, when you summon her, you can special summon out another level 2 monster that has 800 attack, 1000 defense onto the field, which can actually open up a lot more, which gets multiple tribute fodder monsters onto the field. The other thing is that when she leaves the field, goes to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Monarch spell and traps and return it to your hand, so she gives you some recursion for the tech cards in this deck. Okay. And of course, we run 3 copies of Eidos, the Underworld Squire. Alright, now cool thing about Eidos is that whenever he's normal special summon, you gain an extra tribute summon for that turn, which is cool. Another thing is that you can banish him from your graveyard and special summon out Eidos from your field, which in turn will bring out another an Edea from your graveyard, which will bring out another Eidos and just basically set things up a little bit more. So that's pretty much your small fry engines. We get into the bigger guys here, as you saw in the bumper. We got 1 copy of Aether the Heavenly Monarch. Awesome card. She can tribute summon herself during your opponent's turn, which is awesome. Send 2 Monarch spell and traps to the graveyard. Special summon out another Monarch card from your deck or your hand to the field to add a little bit more pressure or more consistency. I can tell you this right now. She's actually, and another thing about it is that just like the rest of the Mega Monarchs, you can tribute summon her by tributing just one other tribute summon the monster, which is very cool. Okay. Onwards and upwards, we have 1 copy of Erebus. Erebus is pretty awesome. Again, the same. When you summon it to the field, you can turn around and send 1 Monarch, 1 spell card from your deck to your graveyard, and basically take 1 card from your opponent's field or 1 card randomly from your opponent's hand and shuffle it back, or even the graveyard, and shuffle it back into your deck. Pretty awesome effect. It's not a quick effect though, so. Another thing about when it hits the graveyard, you get a recycling effect. Okay. And you can recycle stuff back from your graveyard to your hand, which is which is insanely important for this deck to work. All right. I do one copy of Majesty's Fiend. Basically, this card hits the field. No monsters can activate their effects. That include no monster effects are being activated, which includes hand traps, Great card is to protect your monsters. And it's searchable thanks to its battle stats 2400 attack, 1000 defense. Alright. I run 2 copies of Caius the Shadow Monarch because Caius, when it's summoned, banishes something off the field. And if it's a Dark Tribute monster, your opponent gets hit with 1000 points of burn damage. So that's an awesome card. I run 2 copies of Ryza because Ryza bounces stuff off the field to the top of your opponent's deck, forcing them to redraw it. So if they have dropped a big monster in the field, you can bounce it back to the top, and it can be very annoying. Now, one last Monarch I run in this, basically because since I'm running a Paleozoic engine, I run 2 copies of Mobius the Mega Monarch. Now, the thing about Mobius is that, you require either a Tribute Summon monster, 1 Tribute Summon monster, or 2 monsters. And if one of those monsters happen to be a Water Tribute, it gains an additional effect. Well, when it's Tribute Summon, you target up to 3 cards in the field to destroy them. If you use a Water Tribute monster, those cards cannot be chained in response to those activation of this card's effect. Which means you use a Water Tribute, one of the Paleozoic cards, to Tribute Summon this guy out, and you target maybe a face-down Solemn Strike on your opponent's field. Your opponent isn't chaining that card to this card's effect because it has that immunity. Pretty cool. Now, I like running him because you have the Paleozoic cards in this, which makes it a very good engine and a very good way to get this card on the field. If you don't feel comfortable using this, a good suitable replacement would be Karaz the Light Monarch, because when you bring him onto the field, he pops 2 cards on the field, which will probably be something you don't need anymore, and itself to draw more cards. Alright? So if you're not comfortable with using Mobius, please by all means use Karaz. Alright? And that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. Of course, I run 1 copy of Foolish Burial Goods. Alright, this is the secret rare. The common version of this card is coming out actually this Friday in the new structure deck. Be on the lookout for that. There's a lot of great reprints in that structure deck. What does it do? It sends 1 spell trap card from your deck to your graveyard, which can help get things going. Alright, I want 1 copy of Pantheism of the Monarchs. Basically, if you have extra Monarch spell trap in your card in your hand, discard it, draw it. Yeah, you can draw cards. When it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, select 3 Monarch spells and traps, from your deck, reveal them to your opponent. Your opponent picks 1 to add to your hand, and the others go back into your deck. And you can do both in 1 turn. Alright, I run 2 copies of Return of the Monarch. This helps thin out your deck by searching out your Monarch monsters whenever one's Tribute Summoned, which is completely and totally epic. And you can actually do it multiple times in a turn, so keep that in mind. Downside, you can't special summon from your extra deck, but that's why we have things like we utilize things like Mobius, make it Mobius, or even Karaz. And of course, running a Monarch deck, you gotta run Tenacity of the Monarch. Flash a monster with 2400 or 2800 attack and 1000 defense, and search your deck for a Monarch spell trap that you need. And of course, last but not least, you gotta run Monarch Stormforth in any Tribute Summon deck. Allows you to basically allows you to gain access to your opponent's monsters to use them as tribute fodder. And that's it for the spells. On to the traps. And of course, I run 2 copies of Escalation of the Monarchs. Now, Escalation in this deck is what makes this deck so insane. Alright, besides being another Monarch spell trap name to be able to send to the graveyard for your Aether or Erebus effects, this guy, Escalation, allows you to Tribute Summon during your opponent's main phase or during your opponent's battle phase. Alright, and because of the interaction with things like the Paleozoic trap cards, you're actually getting more monsters onto the field during that chain, which means more tribute fodder. Alright, so this card is very key in this particular build. And of course, speaking of the Paleozoic trap cards, we have 3 copies of Paleozoic Canadia, or Candia. however you pronounce it. Basically, target one face-up monster on your opponent's opponent controls and change it to face-down defense position. While it's in graveyard, whenever you activate a trap, you can special summon to your field as a normal water attribute monster, and if it ever leaves the field, you banish it. Okay, so all Paleozoics have those final two effects. When you activate trap cards, you can actually bring them back onto the field, and when they leave the field, they're banished. Alright. Then you have 3 copies of Paleozoic Dynamiscus. Basically, target one card on the field, discard one card from your hand, and banish the card you targeted. Alright. 2 copies of Paleozoic Morella. Basically, this takes a Paleozoic card, since it's from the deck to your graveyard. Alright. All the Paleozoic traps come back as level 2 water attribute monsters. Just giving you a heads up. They either have 1200 attack and or 1200 defense. And then you have the Paleozoic Olenoid, which basically allows you to target a spell or trap card and destroy it. I want 2 copies of Solemn Strike because, let's face it, Solemn Strike negates monster effects and inherit summons. You're going to need that in this deck. And of course, 2 copies of the Prime Monarch, which is another awesome trap for this deck. Basically, recycles your Monarch spell and traps back into your deck while it's on the field, and you can draw a card through it. And while it's in the graveyard, you can banish a Monarch spell trap to special summon to the field as tribute fodder. This deck is so insane with the amount of interactions you have with the Paleozoic cards and things like Escalation and the Prime Monarch. It's not even funny. Alright, so on to the extra deck. 2 copies of Paleozoic Anomalocaris. Say that 3 times fast. Alright. Basically, while it's on the field, can't be targeted by card effects, which is cool. Or monster effects, excuse me. Detach an Xyz material. If one of the Paleozoic monsters, trap monsters are tribute or Xyz materials on it, you can turn around and send from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Except in the damage steps, you can excavate one card, and then if it's a trap card, send it to the graveyard. I mean, yeah, you can excavate top card. It's a trap card out to your hand. If it's not, it goes to the graveyard. Pretty cool effect, and you could just attach one material from it to pop a monster. All right. The one you really want to get in the field is this guy, Paleozoic Opabenia. Basically, again, can't be targeted by monster effects. While it has a trap card as an Xyz material, you can activate the trap cards from your hand. You don't have to set up, makes the deck a little bit faster. Detach a material, search your deck for a trap card. Paleozoic trap card. Awesome. Of course, I run Sky Cavalry Centauria. Basically, it can't be destroyed by battle when it has Xyz materials attached to it. When it battles an opponent's monster, detach a material, you can bounce it off the field. Great. Two copies are totally awesome because it's totally awesome. It's a negation card, and it allows you to steal it steals whatever it negates. And it can recycle itself as well. So now for the level 6s, I have Constantly M7. Basically, another thing, detach a material, bounce something off the field. And of course, I also run normally 39 Utopia Beyond. The reason why Utopia Beyond's in this is basically because whenever it hits the field, it bottoms out all your opponent's monsters' attack points to 0, and those monsters' attack stay that way until they leave the field and brought back. So you can be running over a lot of stuff. Alright, I run 1 copy of Me Star Boy, basically because Me Star Boy, boosts water attribute monsters attack and defense by 500, and it can recycle a water attribute monster from your graveyard to back to your hand, which is pretty awesome. I run 2 copies of the best Link 2 monster in the game, Underclock Taker. Basically, what this guy does, yeah, basically whatever card it points to, and you target the card it points to, and then one card your opponent controls, and you basically bottom out that monster's attack. So good, so handy. And then, of course, you have Sarua Skulldread, which is actually another insane card to have, because you really want to make it with at least 3 materials, so you can have the boost as well as the special summon from the hand effect. Primary reason is that the extra special summon from the hand can actually get a monster from your hand to the field real fast, and ultimately get you more tribute fodder, or even build into more links. And of course, the other thing is I also have 1 copy of Borload Dragon. Borload, again, can turn around and lower opponent's monsters' attack power, but it can also steal one of your opponent's monsters. Yes, you can swing with it, and then, the best part, you can use it for tribute fodder for your monarchs. So it fits, second effect fits so insanely well with this deck. Alright, so we just stack this up, put this right here. Alright, and that is it for my Paleozoic Monarch deck for the February 2018 format. Yeah, the band still isn't out right now, but you know what? When it gets here, it's going to get here. Until then, we're going to roll on, like we normally do. So, if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you loved the video and want to see more content like this on my channel, hit that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell to become part of the notification squad and be notified whenever I throw up new videos and content onto my channel. Alright? Any comments and questions about the deck? Let me know in the comments below. I respond to everybody. And until the next video, everybody, peace out.